What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cephas. If you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe. If you are a long-time subscriber of Liberia to the world, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being part of the family. We're growing every day. And like I mentioned in my previous video, we're going to be in Liberia very soon. As you guys already know, the election has kind of scattered things a little bit, but we're going to be on ground anytime now. So this has prompted me to remember the story of 2020. You guys all remember, if you've been traveling to Liberia back and forth, and you did during the pandemic, you already know the horror stories everywhere. You already knew what you went through, and I know you have stories of yourself, of your own experience. But today I want to talk about my experience in 2021, I believe, at the airport. So let's jump right into this video. It's very interesting. You don't want to miss this story. And I'm going to speak all colloquial for this story. No standard, because Liberian people call it American English. No American English, all standard. So let's get right into the story. All right. So 2020, we go to Liberia every time, right? So 2020, we started going to Liberia during the pandemic. 2021, we still again, we're working on our project and other things. And America and every part of the world, everybody shut down. Only in Africa, people feel like it was not even no pandemic. Everybody was doing the normal things out there. So, went back to Liberia. But I want to tell you guys my airport story. All right. So at the airport, the first thing we were coming back with, I think it was Air Morocco. No, yeah. It was Air Morocco we're flying with. So we went there, and it was Air Morocco we're flying with. So on our day of return from Liberia during the pandemic, you already know the pandemic time, everybody eating money everywhere. You gotta swap your nose, do your COVID test and all that stuff. All of that stuff in which nobody even cares about the actual result. People just do the test for the money. We all know that. Every African country we're doing it, Liberia was enjoying. So during the COVID test, when you're coming back, you gotta go and take your COVID test to the SOFA place. I think there are multiple locations, but you gotta go to SOFA, do your COVID test at least 2-3 days before your flight, and then when you go to the airport, you get your certificate, right? Your COVID test result, positive or negative, and you get your certificate and the actual result. So, and around that time, for some reason, I heard about it and I saw it myself. They were just giving a lot of people positive result. Whether you're negative or not, they give you positive. Everybody was just getting false positive. When you get to the airport, now you're false positive, you got to go and pay, right? That's the dangerous part. Whether you're positive for real or not, you got to go get a post-mortem. And they were taking, especially when you're coming back already, all your dealings is done in Liberia. You got to come back home and say positive. You're looking to spend from $100, $150, $200 to the people in down there to give them something so you can pass, so they can get a new result, or they let you pass. So we got to the airport, but the first thing that happened though is, all right, so our flight was 5 o'clock. So we said, okay, let's start going around 1:30 in the morning, because the last time we missed our flight, we didn't want to miss it. Let's start going around 1:30 in the morning. They said check-in was 3 o'clock. So we said, okay, we left Tupo around 1:30. The road was dark and we're driving slow and the road not good. So we started going by, let's say 2:30, we got there. By 2:30, we get to the airport. First of all, only the security men to the airport sleeping. We see no car. Nobody was there. We're like, damn, it's almost 20 minutes before check-in time. How can nobody here? The airport closed. Nobody even in the airport. So we're like, okay. So the security said, okay, you know what? You can't enter the airport because the people not here yet. They can't hear. So okay. So we went across the airport. They get on a restaurant. They will park our car there. So we parked the car. We're sitting inside, sleeping a little bit. You go to, it was 3 o'clock, time for check-in, because we get it on our phone. We get an email, say, hey, check-in, and things like that. Still nobody there. We went back to the gate. The security man said, man, I don't know what you're doing here. Nobody here. Nobody coming here now. We're like, wow. So this time we're very early and nobody here. So we said, okay, cool. Went back across, and then we sat there. And then it was 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30. An hour and a half past the check-in time. The time people start checking in, the police start coming small, start coming small. At that time, I didn't get my result yet. After, sometimes when you go do SOFA, sometimes they don't get a result until the morning of, or sometimes they don't get a result at all. So I'm over there sitting down, and then they haven't get my result yet. I'm thinking like, okay, this is not good. Everybody get a result. All my, Joe got a result. Everybody get a result. I haven't got my result yet. So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, you know what? No problem. When I get there, the minute they can pull it up, we'll call. We'll have the system. They can check inside and everything. Sophie will pull it up. So I said, okay, cool. But at that time, though, before I traveled with my self-test kit, and I bought self-test kit from here. I used to test myself all the time, maybe twice a week or so for COVID. Every time I used to check myself. So prior to my flight, the 2 days before I checked myself, it was negative. The night before the flight, I checked, it was negative, and it was that the test I have, it was pretty accurate. Almost the same test they use at the facilities here in America. So I test was negative. I said, okay, I ain't worried about anything. So we there. Igolo, we got there, man. They were 4:30. By 4:45, before people started coming in, so the security men let us in. When we stood in front online for the guys, then the COVID people then from Sophia to come and start checking result and things like that. The minute I even come, they see the flight departs at 5. By 5 o'clock, before the people, the workers now start coming in, everybody just walking, chilling, slow walking in and things like that. I'm like, wow. So they see the flight time was the flight on leave at 5, and the people just started coming. And people, I don't know, for some reason, we didn't get the memo, and everybody else that was on the flight just started coming around 5 o'clock. When the flight's supposed to leave, that's when everybody started put all the cars and start coming. But by that time, it was really checking at 3 o'clock. So we're there, we're standing in line, you go to boom. Man, my results still not here yet. So in line, one of the first people in line, I went to the man, I'm like, you know what, today, I'm about to cause fire damage. I'm like, you know what? Today, I don't come and do no, because me, I don't like confrontation. Thing I be all, understanding, all that stuff. I say no. Today, I'm doing it. Today, we cause that fire for fire. I come and cause the minute I come and pull crumble down. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we sitting out there, the man came, and then the first thing that happened, I went to the man. I said, man, my result not coming here. You from Sophia? You directly from Sophia. I said, you from Sophia? Making check the thing. The man said, man, we're not getting no system. Yeah. Yes, what? That's the whole reason I'm telling this story. The whole reason I'm telling this story is in Liberia. When you go for a service to a place of employment or place of business, the employees them is almost like you working for them. I mean, you can't do anything about it. When they're ready to dismiss you, when they're ready to like disrespect you, when they're ready to talk to you any kind of way, you're like, you sometimes just wonder, I said, are these people really working? Do they have boss? Do they have rules and policies here? When they're ready to treat you just like, even especially when you don't have small thing to give them, man, that's the reason I'm telling this story. I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what, today, I mean, on it. I told the man, I said, man, bro, let me tell you now, everybody standing in line. Man, I started real fire. I said, man, I did my test, did my receipt, I did my test. My tenant kind of, you don't work into the damn place here, in the Liberia, your whole system not going good. I start going off on the man. The man sitting there looking at me. The man looking at me and said, brother, your result not yet. I said, but you coming from the damn office, you coming from Sophia, you work there, you employee, checking the system. The man said, that first of all, we're not getting no system, man. I'm looking, you got to show me the thing when you go inside there before the man can look at the computer and everything, but you can't go inside there until you show me your paper, your actual paper, man, or on your phone. I said, but I go there, let me see. Oh, I start cussing the man, said, brother, man, you just stay on this side. Yo, I mean, my blood started boiling. I said, no, I'm moving on the line. The thing you did, we got to develop the library. So I'm going to wait this. I'm looking behind me. Everybody yesterday just looking. I'm like, I'm thinking, all the men coming joining the men already knew, like, brother, you just head in your head. Because nobody saying anything. And there was like 4 or 5 minutes on the same line that the result never came in. But the men not talking. I started putting grandma down, like, okay, you know what? All the men coming joining you too because the men not get a result. The men just standing there. They making to me, men sit down, just kill them something. I said, no. I said, today, I'm giving them nothing. I beg giving people something. The country will have to change the country. The airport experience, you're ruining it for people that are coming in the Liberia. We gotta change it. We gotta change it today. We gotta change it. The guy said, okay, the man went by in line. I stand in line. I crucify them. I hold up the whole line, the line piling up. Then you go to the man and say, but brother, can you, I understand your argument, but can you just be standing on this side, be arguing with him, man? Why would be? The man said, that yelling, brother, just stay on this side, man. You been that thing, you don't go away. Man, I stay on the side. I said, yeah, you're cool. But man, I start crucifying them. You go, everybody, you're going. The 2 minutes I never had result, the minute go on 1 or 2, already talking. I saw the minute go. I said, oh, the minute finish dropping a little 100. I'm looking at that thing. Everybody going out. Oh, I'm on the last person in the line. The 3 people behind me was, oh, I'm on the first. Then I look at the whole thing. I start feeling embarrassed. So you telling me all the yelling, I have to go to the man and go talk? I can't do it, man. I just in the back now, then my voice, my half voice start going down, small now, you know. I start complaining about that computer. What kind of mess? How did they my tune started changing small. Yo, that stuff was embarrassing. I'm sitting there like, there's no way this man that's supposed to do the job, the people are supposed to do the job, they didn't do the job good. Then now I gotta come and reason with them. The man that sit and look at the man. I call all the manager. The thing about Liberia first, you can't say, oh, in America, when you ask for the manager, everybody want to fix things. When the manager comes, the manager always have some kind of solution, you know, to not bring competition and call attention to the company and all that stuff. Nothing. The manager didn't say in Liberia, the man that work at the airport, the manager, the man still sleeping. The man ain't there. The man still sleeping. I asked for the manager, man, no manager yet. So I don't know what you want to do that, but just stay on the side. Man, I'm sitting over there. I'm pissed off. Everybody. Some people know who didn't have the results. Some people know who were even positive. They went there, everybody going. I'm like, how? The manager dropping a small thing, 50, 100, anything the manager here, the manager eating. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I gotta change the strategy because all the yelling, nothing happening. So I went back to I go in the line, I said, man, you get it that I call him and I said, let me tell you something. You don't get a result, but you're not going. Yo, you know how it can hurt? Look, I was so pissed. The ego, I was so pissed off. I'm like, the man can detect, like, it's not really my fault. Not to say, oh, I didn't do, I did everything I was supposed to do, but they fail on their end, and they may have to dictate to me that, they may look at me one time and say, bro, let me tell you something. You bring up people that you're not going. Oh, shit. Man. I look at him and I say, bro, how you be able to that? How you can add that, man? You mean, my whole thing that changing, man, that up. Then God said, the other man called me on the side. He man said, bro, let me tell you something. You know, I understand this, but just talk to the man and this and this. You know, you can grab me something in my hand, say, let me carry to the man. You know, this and this and this and all kind of thing. Thank God, because I'm telling you to say this, at the end of the day, I had to drive my inner man here. That thing hurt. It hurt my feelings. I had to drop my in because they had a friend I gave them out to give it to him, but at the end of the day I still give it to them. I gave it to them, man. The brother they make into him and said that let me you can go. Man, it's a simple thing. I was saying that up. Damn, I mean that thing just hurt. The man said, man, you can go inside. A simple thing, it's that up. I get him and I was pissed off. So I said, cool, get him in my I think I was $60. We start going inside. Now we got inside the terminal.